My era, I read the book of sort of one of the first American sadhus. His name is Baba Ramdas. He printed a book back, 1970-71 called Be Here Now. It was an interesting book. It was printed on paper sacks from grocery stores. And did anyone read Be Here Now? Oh, Praharna Mataji, she read it also. And there was a LP that went along with it. And I heard the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and I had some attraction to it. But the presentation that was being given by Ramdas was all the impersonal concept of Indian spirituality, and it was a very eclectic mix of everything because he was a psychiatrist. He was from New York. He was a Jewish fella. He was from that whole revolutionary era, and everything that he was presenting was a mix of just about everything. So I tried chanting Hare Krishna, and I would chant, and I was chanting for a long time. And by chanting, I was expecting some phenomenal lights to turn on, but they didn't turn on. And then in the spring of 71, I met disciples of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and at a music festival, and I walked up and they were singing the Maha Mantra, and because they had received the mantra from the lips of the pure devotee, when I sang the mantra for the first time, I had like a very sort of profound spiritual experience, and that convinced me not to stop. And I'm sure that all of you have had your experiences with the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and that's why some of you have been chanting Hare Krishna Mantra for 45 years. Some of you have been chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for 25 years, for 15 years, for 10 years. Some of you maybe are new chanters of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So therefore I feel a bit sort of out of my league trying to address you all on the importance of the Maha Mantra in our communities, because the essential foundation has been given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we say that every day, that by chanting the Maha Mantra, our hearts become cleansed. By chanting the Maha Mantra, the tribulation of material existence becomes diminished. And by chanting the Maha Mantra, the lotus of our hearts open, and when the lotus of our hearts open, we become revealed, and at that time, we start to have very truthful and real, meaningful relationships with one another on the spiritual platform. And for me, this has been like a driving aspiration through all the years, and I think all the devotees who live in our communities, they understand that we have a lot of work to do to fulfill the mandate of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. But unless we open our hearts, and unless we can relate to one another in real and truthful and meaningful ways, we'll never be able to actually work as a team. We may be a lot of people who have been part of an institution for a long time. We may have worked on the same job in an institution for a long time, but we may not feel ourselves really part of the team that's endeavoring to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's mandate to establish those 7 points of ISKCON, and to really give each and every person throughout the world the opportunity to perfect their lives by coming to Krishna consciousness. So Kirtan is imperative in that. His Divine Grace has written so many times in his books about the importance of Harinam Sankirtan. He has written the importance of understanding Sri Krishna's instructions that are given in Bhagavad Gita. He has written in his books understanding the instructions and the activities of Sri Krishna that are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada has written that in each and every one of our ISKCON temples there should be Sri Krishna Sankirtan conducted at least 3 hours every evening. Who has read that in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Srila Prabhupada has written, he says, every evening there should be kirtan like that. If there's kirtan like that, then he said, Maya will never touch our movement. So really, you all know, and I'm trying to understand the importance of this process of focusing our minds on the holy name and understanding that the name of Krishna and Krishna are absolutely the same. When we invoke the holy name of Lord Krishna, he is absolutely in our presence. And if we do that with profound concentration, if we very, very much try to focus, to do this exclusively for Krishna's pleasure, then it is very simple. Krishna becomes pleased. And when Krishna becomes pleased, he sprinkles his kind mercy upon all of us. And then we, as an international society, we as a community, we as an organization can become empowered with Krishna's mercy to spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission throughout the world. So having said that, and having seen so many devotees in this audience who are far, everybody here is more advanced than myself, but I'm seeing Malati Prabhu here, I'm seeing my god sister Praharna, I'm seeing Shruti Kirti, I'm seeing Panchagoda, His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj just walked in. I think that in the presence of all these great Vaishnavas, it's better for me to pull the zipper on my mouth in terms of trying to speak something, but to get to the essence of what I want to do is that we will just all chant together. Is that okay? Okay. When we chant together, we have a short time here. When we chant together, I would really like to request that we try to do it in a particular way. That I'm going to sit here and I'm going to sing the Maha Mantra. And when I'm singing, I want you to really try to listen to each syllable that's coming out of my mouth. Just focus your mind in that way. Kratu Prabhu is here also. He's my senior god brother, another senior god brother from Toronto. When I'm singing, please just focus your mind on the sound vibration. Try to hear. Focus your mind. Don't let your mind wander. And then when you're singing, please try to focus your mind on every syllable that's coming out of your mouth. If we really try to make this endeavor together, then Sri Krishna will give us his sweet mercy. And we can see our hearts will open, our communities can open, and we'll be imbued with that spirit to spread Sri Krishna Sankirtan. So first, Srila Prabhupada has taught us in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the way that we should perform Sankirtan is before any preaching activity or before any kirtan, we should recite Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra, and we should recite the Panchatattva Mahamantra. So I'd like to request everybody to please join me now. We'll all chant together. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami
Iti
Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare. One point, this last weekend I attended a very beautiful festival in Bangladesh. Many of the Bangladesh devotees cannot come here for this festival. I told them that when we would chant so loudly that they can hear, 5 hours car drive away in Joshua, Bangladesh. So we'll try it one more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna